back to the Canadian Ultimate Championships here in Brampton. Live with you here for some day 2 action. I'm Breton Tan here in the booth with Allison Fisher. And Allison, what can you tell us about these two teams we have here today?
Well, this is an interesting crossover matchup. So in dark we have Mischief. They had 3 pool play games yesterday and they lost all 3 games. Very close. One was at Universe, I believe. Another one was 13-10. So they had really tight, close games. In other games, unfortunately, they ended up at the bottom of their pool. And on the other side, we have Stud, who won all their games by quite a large margin. I believe it was 15-2, 15-2, and maybe 15-8. So we have 2 teams, one that was very well tested yesterday, and the other who possibly hasn't really been tested yet. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes out of this game.
Absolutely. So Mischief, team out of British Columbia, Stud, team out of Ontario. Both teams have played against their top competitions in their regions. Now a little bit of a chance to cross over, play against some out-of-region competition, which is always fun. It looks like we'll have Mischief here pulling to begin this game. Stud coming out on offense, and we can expect nothing less. This is essentially an elimination game. The team that wins moves on to the quarterfinals. The team that loses is unfortunately going to be playing in the consolation bracket.
Yeah, and that's a lot on the line. I believe that Stud, this is only their 2nd time at nationals, and some of their players, their goal is really to make the top 8. So they're going to be fighting really hard to see if they can get that done.
Absolutely. Mischief, a long-time team, part of the Misfit program out in BC. Have been to nationals multiple times, and they themselves, they don't want to drop out of that top 8 spot. They want to prove they are top 8 in the country, even though they may not be the strongest team coming out of British Columbia. And here we go. Pull is up. Nicely done right onto the Stud's end zone line, and right away we have a bit of a collision in the stack. Looks like we'll have a pick call early on.
Or possible injury. It's hard to tell. He looks like he's okay, number 17 on Mischief.
It appears they just collided there as the play got started.
We have trusty observer Rob in the mix, making sure that everything will be sorted out properly.
Yeah, our observers for today's game are Rob Langridge and Colin Kuntz. So we're happy to have them here with us. The observers have been doing a fantastic job here at this tournament, as well as the players. We've seen a lot of clean games so far. Not a lot of discussion, not a lot of upset players pushing or shoving or anything. And that's exactly what you want to see. So it looks like the disc will go back. It was indeed a bit of a pick call, kind of an interference situation there. So this will remain in the Stud handler's hands on his own goal line. He's going to open with a nice around shot there over to Gavin Lee. Gavin Lee, great shot there, back to the far side. Ryan Pierce, who's going to just boost it to a wide open Charlie Smith. But once again, we have a call here from the Mischief defender. Perhaps a bit of a pick there as Charlie looked quite open.
He had a lot of separation on us there, and the observer is indicating pick.
And it looks like it will be a pick call, so a great huck there from Stud early on, not looking scared. It's showing why they were so dominant yesterday. And even in this light breeze, they just perfect shot on the very first attempt. Let's see if they can do it again.
All right, disc is in.
So looking for his reset right now. He's going to find a nice upfield cut there. Keep that stall count alive. Now looking for some options. Is this shot going to stay up? Oh, unfortunately not. Shot there from Charlie Smith, just tailing a little bit too far in front of his receiver.
Yeah, number 74 was a nice cut. He had a good separation. Unfortunately, the disc just didn't make it to him.
Yeah, the wind not that gentle that you can just put anything out there. You still have to be very dialed in. And right now, here comes Mischief.
Nice horizontal stack to start.
Oh, a couple of great cuts there, getting them down the field quick. Disc in the hand now, Justin Kwan. Kwan's going to center it back over. That's Wesley Choi now. Wesley Choi, small flip to the far side. Tristan Johnson with the disc, who's going to boost it now, looking for Kwan. Unfortunately, this one a little bit too high for all the receivers there. And disc back in the hands of Stud.
Just slightly too far. It was a great look.
Absolutely, but I think both teams, early morning game, very first game of the day, a high-pressure game already. You can tell it's probably some nerves out there still. It is an elimination game. They know what's on the line, and they don't want to give up anything. A nice reset out there, Gavin Lee. Gavin Lee, great shot over there, Ryan Pierce. Little flip now, Stud working that far side of the field. Nice defense here though, but one receiver gets open. Unfortunately, this hammer just as well floats over his receiver. Maybe the receiver felt like the pressure was going to come up behind him. He went up early. Unfortunately, just a little bit too early for that hammer shot.
Yeah, it looks to me like it's just, first point jitters. I'm sure both teams are going to be able to settle down
And Kiri Wang with a shot to the back of the end zone. Unfortunately, it's not going to stay in. He was looking for Sammy Benamara on that one, but didn't quite give him enough space there to make that grab.
Reminds me of our first game yesterday where those first few points when they were adjusting to the wind, it was a little bit tricky. There was quite a few turnovers, and then once both teams adjusted, they were all good to go.
Absolutely. It's kind of what you expect early on, first game of the day. Everybody just dialing their throats, and then here we have another one that's just going to pop up a little bit high.
Nice read by the defender.
Absolutely. Great job there by the Mr. Defender. That was Justin Kwan there. Just now in the hands of Justin Luna.
Oof,
oh,
nice
great
IO
shot.
break.
A little flip back. He's going to try and hop it in, and he's good.
Success, number 17 for the goal.
Yeah, Justin Luna doing a great job finding a nice and sneaky IO shot there, and then just busting down the middle of the field to catch that flip, and great job to hop it into the end zone as well. So Mischief's going to break early on in this game, just take a 1-0 lead.
So it really looked like Stud was running a vertical stack with the last back cutting in repeatedly on their attempts to get their play going. I'll be interested to see if they're going to run the same thing going the other direction.
Yeah, perhaps they were even running it upwind, so now maybe they have a little bit of the wind on their side now. Maybe it's a little bit more effective. Maybe they can start hitting some of those deep shots from farther out. So it'll be interesting to see if they come back out, you're right, with that vertical stack. Or did they switch it up early on? Stud actually has 4 coaches here at National. They have Jamie Millage, Ashley Millage, LP Blouin, and Stacy Daigle. So 2 of those coaches actually coaching the Stud B team back home in Ontario, who unfortunately didn't make it, but they decided they're going to combine all their effort, all their experience, all their strategies, and bring one strong team to National, the one strong set of coaches. And it really showed yesterday, taking out maybe not the toughest competition, but showing that they were on top of the competition that they played.
I agree, and I think bringing coaches from the B team up to coach at Nationals with the A team, it really gives. It's not only giving an opportunity to the players, but also an opportunity to the coaches to learn.
Stud doing a great job, a little bit of a split off the start, and they're gonna find an open man on this close side. Ooh, this shot. It looked like there was 2 cutters there at the same time. Unfortunately, couldn't quite communicate who's gonna make that grab. It's just gonna bounce off the hands of the receiver.
Yeah, that was a great job by the defense to be right in that lane.
Good poach call there. They're going to get it on this close side. Yep, shot now into the middle. This hands of Christoph Hager. Hager's going to flip it back over to Richmond Rosario. Nice shot upfield just outside the end zone. Benamara, he's going to try and squeeze it in.
Did he make it?
And
the observer rules that he's inbounds. That was great catch under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Justin Luna, once again, very, very accurate with his feet there, keeping them just inside the end zone, making that grab, pressure on his side, like you said. And that's just another quick break for Mischief. They're going to take a 2-0 lead here.
Yep, it looks like Stud needs to get their heads in the game. If you're the coach of Stud, what are you saying to your players right now?
I think you're telling them, hey, yesterday, guys, we had a great day. We played really well. They were rolling essentially. Today now we've got some serious competition. You guys just have to dial it up just a little bit. These guys are not the same people that we played yesterday. They're a lot better. They've played a lot tougher competition. They know what's on the line as well. You guys just have to try and want it more.
I agree. Point by point, they're technically the underdog, so you can really play up on that. It's often much harder to come into a game with the expectation that you are going to win. So I think if Stud just cleans up their offense a little bit, you know, making those easy catches, easy throws. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, and Mischief looking like so far they've been executing their game plan. Speaking to their coaches, Kyle Lamb and David Stelch pregame, unfortunately their third coach, Joshua Lamb, decided to stay home. So hopefully he's watching his team back in BC. Maybe a little bit early, but I hope he's there supporting. But they were saying, yeah, they just have to play their game. They have to come out strong, right? Really assert themselves as the stronger team. And so far they've done that. So I'm sure the coaches are happy at the moment. And here we have a huge pull.
Huge pull.
It's going to land just inside the back of the
Amazing.
end zone. So Mischief already applying the pressure.
Yeah, definitely one of the hardest. Oh, what a
fantastic
amazing grab.
Ryan Pierce reading that one just exceptionally, diving to make that saving grab.
That was a fantastic play. You know, you're really stuck in the back of the end zone. You want to get it out, put up a possibly not ideal huck to the back of your stack, and your player saves the day for you.
Absolutely. Now, Stud doing a great job flowing to the far side of the field.
Looks like that's going to be a pick.
A bit of a pick call there. But it's great to see that Stud isn't afraid to take those kinds of shots, right? They're confident in their teammates as well. Even though they're down a little bit right now, they're going to do what they've done between yesterday and throughout the tournament. Look at that, another great grab. Oh, unfortunately, his flip just a little bit too far. You can tell the player wanted it back, but it's going to happen, and he's going to have to try and earn it back here on defense.
Yeah, let's see if you can do it. That's number 34. Big challenge. Especially his guy is the isolation player. Oh, and they do get it back on defense. Great job.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mischief calling for that poach. Unfortunately, the shot was just a little bit behind the receiver there. So Stud now is going to get a second chance here. Shot to the far side.
Nice
Great grab there. That's
2.
Robbie Rodway there making that one-handed grab.
Little flip to 74.
Oh, and now
pulls out
Pierce is going to go hammer. Oh, and his defender falls, so just corralled right outside the end zone now. It's a great position for Stud. Oh, unfortunately, his flip is going to pop. Oh, and it's going to pop over everybody. They're going to get a hand on it, but unfortunately not able to reel it in.
Number 9 unable to bring it in, but
Will
that
Rice was so close on that one.
It was an exciting play.
This is now in the hands of Patrick and Kiri Wang. He's been kind of the center handler here for the Stud defense when they get the turn. So we look for him to do some more work here. Great shot there to Jason Ewan.
Yeah, they're wide open on their undercuts.
Right now doing a great job continuing. It's Alan Ng, I believe, with the disc at the moment. Flips it back to Ang Kiri Wang. Nice job. Far side now. Wesley Choi. Mischief really showing some nice flow right now. And here comes a huck. Will there be enough? Unfortunately, just a little too much. And you hear the coach yelling, guys, we're downwind. You got to slow it down just a little bit for your receivers there.
Yeah, you just can't put too much power on those hucks going downwind because the wind's just going to push that right out of the back. You could see it was just slightly too far for those receivers.
Yeah, 2 receivers open. You just have to dial it in just a little bit more if you want those to land.
Nice pass.
Fantastic open cut on the far side, and he's going to juice it, and this one looks like a beauty.
Great, huge flick.
That's Liam Powers running it down there. He's going to flip it. Oh, no,
34 just bounced right off his hands there in the end zone.
Yeah, so far Stud's been on the losing end, I guess, of those bounces in the wind. They haven't quite dialed in their throws just enough to make it easy for their teammates.
Right, and just like it's tough to throw downwind on huge hucks, well, that upwind flick huck was incredible. There was so much power on that, which you need in order for it to hang nice and flat right for your receiver to go run onto it.
Yeah, it's almost harder to throw those upwind flips because the wind causes so much havoc. Oh, Stud doing some great job here, locking down on defense, forcing Mischief to jack it down the field, which isn't always the worst play.
Nope,
I mean, they're
especially since it's stayed in bounds.
Yeah, they're going to make Stud work it back the 70 yards, and or perhaps give themselves a chance of getting a short field turn, and that's what you really want. When you're playing downwind, you don't really want to give up that upwind score. So sometimes you're going to just have to play the field position, play the wind. It is on your side, and make the other team just work.
Yeah, make the other team work.
Right now, Stud doing a great job finding open cuts. Disc in the hands now. That's Charlie Smith. It's kind of open cut here.
Nice on break
Gavin
side.
Lee,
Little dish.
1-2 dish. Now flick huck far side. Is there enough float? Unfortunately, not this time either. So Stud right now still a little bit shaky on their throws so far. A couple of their hucks have been on the money. At the same time, a couple of them have kind of flown away, so they need a few more points, I think, to adjust to the wind, adjust to the pressure they're facing, and just dial it in like they did yesterday.
Yeah, and sometimes that's actually your game strategy, right? Like you wanna huck it early when you're on offense, just so that the other team will respect that and they're not going to only take away your unders.
Absolutely. You don't want to be one-dimensional. You want to be able to switch it up. You want to have the deep game. You want to have quick give-and-go movement. Right now, Mischief doing a great job finding their open receivers with a little quick give-and-go. But their deep hugs so far as well have been just a little bit too hot for their receivers going downwind.
Yeah, you almost want the coaches at this point to call a timeout, and you could imagine that both coaches would be saying the same thing, like, chill it out on the hucks, guys. You know, we got this, but let's just be a little bit more patient on our throwing.
Absolutely, yeah. Take into account the wind, take into account how far away your receiver is, and just dial it in just a little bit more. Because we can land these, but we just haven't hit any at the moment.
Interesting now that Stud is running their initiating cuts off the front of the stack.
Good to see that they're they're multifaceted. They have more than one type of initiation. That's, again, what you want to see. You don't want defenses knowing who's going to move first and where they're going to move. So great job by Stud there, switching it up.
Well, that was a nice cut by 51.
Excellent. He's going to get rewarded there on the far side with disc. Definitely working in the reset space. Going to try and get it. Looks like we have a call on the field.
Oh, and the disc hits a player who was unsuspecting on the sideline.
If there was a call on the field, but as it was a one-throw continuation, that turnover is going to stand. So it'll be Mischief's disc. Bit of a short field turnover just outside the red zone. So a great chance for them to perhaps put in a third break here. And we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, let's see if they can maybe have a little bit more patience when attacking the red zone.
And this could be what they need since they can't huck it now.
Perfect timing. Now their coaches can go chat with them about how they need to relax on the deep shots.
Absolutely. This is a great time to take a timeout, I believe. A bit of a difficult position with the disc right on the sideline. But I imagine after so many turnovers, if whichever team comes out on top here, they'll have a bit of a momentum lead, I believe, going forward in this game.
I agree. It's tough to battle in those long points early in the game. You know, those players on the field, they might not be, incredibly warmed up by this point, and they don't have a lot of running in their legs yet. So, I'm sure the Mischief coach is saying, guys, we just need to put it in the net. It's easy. It's just one more pass. End zone passing is the same as passing on the field. Just one more pass. Take it easy. Let's get it done.
Absolutely. And on the Stud side, they're saying, hey, guys, like, we've had some chances. We've taken some shots. They haven't quite been there just yet, but let's keep fighting, right? It's early in the game. As long as we don't give up on ourselves, we will not lose this game uncontested, right? So they're going to go out there. I'm sure they're going to put on some person-to-person defense, and they're just going to make Mischief work as hard as they can to put in this goal.
All right, so after a timeout, the offense has to set. As you can hear the observer counting down, offense has to set, and then once they're set, they cannot move. Defense is allowed to set up whatever type of defense they want.
And it looks like Mischief opting for a horizontal stack here just outside of the red zone. A very interesting position. I imagine a lot of the teams like to use that vertical stack to create a lot of break side space, but Mischief opting for the horizontal stack, keeping the field nice and wide, keeping the defenders out of position. And here now, they're right on the doorstep. Disc in the hands of Jason Ewan.
Oh, that's
Jason Ewan's flip, wow, between two people and somehow stuck to the hands of Ang Kiri Wang there for the goal.
I was just about to say that was excellent handler defense. They were so tight, the two of them on the mark and on the player who was playing as the dump, but somehow he still managed to pull that disc in and score the goal.
If I had to guess, I believe both the mark and the handler defender managed to touch that disc at the same time.
It really looked like that.
Ang Kiri Wang just held on tighter than both of them and was able to secure that goal. So Mischief taking a 3-0 lead here. 3 breaks early on. They must be feeling good right now. They must be confident. Stud, on the other hand, maybe a little bit shaken up. They haven't seen this kind of pressure. But let's say I'm excited to see how they're going to respond now that they've been kind of punched in the gut a little bit, given a little bit, shell-shocked a little bit. But still so early in this game, they have a chance to go on a run of their own and bring this game right back to even.
Right, and they have the advantage right now. They are going with the wind. So maybe that will give them a little bit of an easier time on offense. It's not too windy. We saw it quite windy yesterday. The flags are not moving that much at the current moment, so I'm sure if they're able to figure out the wind, they'll have more success on offense pretty soon.
So one interesting point that we saw, maybe it is the wind so far. It's been a bit calmer this morning, but yesterday we saw a lot of zone early on in the day. Even the very first game of the day, we saw right away teams throwing out a lot of different kinds of zones too. We saw some 3-3-1s, some four-person cups. We saw some poaching deep, poaching unders from Mofo, which were very, very interesting to watch. And so these two teams, though, so far mainly happy playing person-to-person defense. Maybe it's early. Maybe they're just trying to get their legs under them, like you said, early on in this game. And right now, Stud with a fantastic opportunity. After that pull stayed just out of bounds a little too long. So they'll be in the red zone, center of the field, looking to score their first point.
What a great position to get a goal. I mean, they're about 10 yards out of the end zone.
And this could be
with an isolation player.
And yeah, this could be what they need. A great double cut there first. And he's going to shoot it to the break side.
Nice score by number 18.
Yeah, that was Daniel Poma making the double cut off the front to get that swing. And then he's going to shoot it over to William Su for the goal. So maybe that's exactly what Stud needed. Just that first point on the board. Now they've got confidence now. Okay, we've scored. We can score. Let's send out our defense to try and earn us back some breaks.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get an easy goal, right? You build off that confidence. Say, okay, look, we just scored, in the red zone super easily. 2 passes and we scored. We can do it again. Let's go get the D and then be nice and patient on offense.
And now we're going to see 2 fresh lines here from both teams. Mischief putting out their O-line for the first time this game, and Stud putting out their D-line. So it'll be interesting to see how these 2 lines contrast the other 2 lines we've been seeing so far. Mischief, a lot of person-to-person defense. The Stud offense liking their vertical stack. Cuts from the back, cuts from the front, switching it up. And so it'll be interesting to see what the Mischief and Stud teams have to bring us right now.
Yeah, Mischief will be going downwind, so it'll be interesting to see if the Stud D-line chooses to go person-to-person or they're going to throw a junk look. Unfortunately, that pull not quite making it maybe as far as the puller had intended.
No, it's far, but not a terrible position putting them on the sideline there. And it looks like a zone right away from Stud. Bit of a 3-3-1 look. And Mischief doing a good job right now, just working it with the handlers.
Yeah, they're just taking what they're being given right into the open spaces.
Yeah, they're just 10 yards out of the end zone, and just like that, finding an open receiver there. Stud melting just a little bit off there, a little miscommunication.
That's the tough part to cover when you're playing zone. When you get close to the end zone, it depends on what your team strategy is. Do you go to person D at that point, or do you stay with zone? And look like they stuck to the zone, but there was unfortunately a Mischief player wide open.
Yeah, just a little bit of a miscommunication there. That was Edric Sudahawk with the goal, and the throw from Neo DeBrew. And from what I've heard from the coaches, Neo has been one of the surprise kind of surprise players here at the tournament. Apparently, he's one of the leading the team in points, either goals or assists. Him, as well as another one, Tyler Guna Sekara, have been 2 grade 9s who have been leading this Mischief team in points, assists, all throughout this tournament. So that's fantastic to see, and perhaps his first time here on the national stage, and it doesn't look like he's shy at all.
That's amazing for grade 9. Those must be some of the youngest players at the tournament. I believe that Stud also has a player who just graduated from grade 9, number 8. He is, I think, the youngest and one of the shortest players on the team. But as you can see, he's on the starting O. So clearly making a difference even at his young age.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. I can imagine him in a couple of years, he'll be leading this Stud team, I'm sure.
No doubt.
Perhaps deep into the playoffs and maybe even a championship one day.
Yeah, the coaches were telling me that their program is quite young. They've only been around for 4 years, and this is their second time at Nats, as we discussed earlier. So, lots of opportunity for growth and improvement to build on their successes that they've had here so far.
Yeah, so Ryan Pierce now for Stud with the disc in the middle of the field. He's looking deep perhaps. He's going to boost a bit of an IO shot. Both defenders there, but a great read there by Charlie Smith to catch that one. He's going to pop a nice high release elevator pass.
Oh, incredible defense by 34.
Wow, that was a great job there by Tristan Johnson, reading that one a little bit better. Also getting a little help from the wind, it looked like, as it just started to tail towards him, and he was able to make that fantastic play for his team.
Well, that was amazing disc awareness, because he was just watching his player. He wasn't looking at the disc at all, and as soon as it was up, somehow he was able to find it in the air, knock it away.
Stud opting a bit of a zone look here, a 2-3-2 zone look. And they're going to get the turn there. It's a very tough position when you're on that far side facing so many players looking at you as you try to make a single throw.
And if you look actually at the stud line right now, they're pretty tall. So I'm sure they do have a height advantage. And when you have a big zone cup around you, especially when they're tall, it can be intimidating to want to try to throw around it.
Oh, fantastic grab there. Gavin Lee on the close sideline. Just outside the end zone, maybe 5 or 10 yards. Oh, but Mischief doing a great job blocking down on D. That was a huge block there from Justin Luna to save it for his team.
Yeah, it looked like that he was running out of time there and opting to throw a scuba almost into the back of the defender. Oh, that's a great throw to break the cup. Can they keep it moving?
Yeah, Benamara right with the disc on the close sideline. And Kiri Wang now, nice shot into the middle, but
what a layout
there.
D block.
Liam Powers saw that one coming. He's going to break it up. Great job by him. Give his team a short field turn. Just going to hand it to Ryan Pierce.
Pretty sure that's going to be a foul on the mark.
Yeah, looks like it'll be uncontested. Just clipping him just a little bit as he tried to throw that around backhand.
Still coming in at 1.
Will Rice with the disc and his shot to the close sideline. It looks like it's a bit of double happiness there for Liam Powers. So fantastic point by him, playing that mid in the zone, seeing that through the middle shot coming, got the layout block, and then just running his man deep and back down the open side, beating him to that front cone for the goal.
So it looks like the fact that that stud through zone there really helped them out. They caused a few turnovers on that. So instead of playing person D, playing zone, it might be something we're gonna see again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see now that they're facing the offensive line if they bring out that zone. We did see the zone last time, but it was a little bit different. Last time they showed a 3-3-1. That one that we just saw more of a 2-3-2 look. So it's nice to see that they have multiple varying looks. I know the coaches, I'm sure they've all seen 100 zones in their playing experience. So I'm sure they've decided on which ones they think are the best and which ones they want to have their team implement at any moment.
For sure, it's always nice to have a bunch of different options so that the offensive line doesn't know what to expect. They can't just assume that you're going to be throwing the same type of defense that they saw the last time.
The Mischief now back out with their second offensive point here. A big bladey pull here from Stud. Will it stay in though?
Yes,
oh, it does.
Right
Fantastic.
On the sideline.
Very similar to the last pull that was thrown, except this one choosing to go high and back in opposed to just sliding across the ground into that position. Disc in the hands of Austin Yen now on the far side. A lot of faking. This time the 2-3-2 look.
And he's able to break it through to the middle.
Great shot there. Neo DeBrew with the disc. His high release though. Oh, he had his receiver running away, and Stun's going to get a quick turnover. So right now, their 2-3-2 has really been doing some good work here against Mischief. This now on the far side of the field. Stud just starting to approach the red zone. Great grab there.
Number 18, that was a great grab. Really, his defender was right on his back.
Yeah, William Sue now in the red zone. Keaton Vasudeva. Great shot to the far side. Austin Hodgson now keeping
Nice
it in
dump.
on the far sideline. Jacob Dawson now. His shot to the end zone. Oh, unfortunately, just a little too much.
Oh, so close. Oh, I think there's going to be a foul called. Number 24 going for the second bid after that tip disc, and it looked like he was just about to catch it, and maybe his defender bumped him a little bit or pushed him out, and I believe it's going to be
It looks like it would be a contested foul call.
foul.
It's tough on those second efforts to decide like who was it intended for and who had that better play. So I think a contested is very fair. They're going to send it back. So Jacob Dawson is going to have the disc. 10 yards still with a second chance at perhaps punching in their first break of the game and bringing this score to 1. Dawson's going to flip it over now to Vasudeva.
It's really interesting how Stud just runs sort of one isolation cutter each time.
Oh, unfortunately, this one's going to bounce off the hands of his reset there. So Mischief is going to get it back, and they're just going to jack it deep now. They're looking for number 10.
Oh,
Helening, does he have it? Oh, fantastic
what an amazing grab. That was a beautiful, beautiful throw by number 8. right to space, right in front of his receiver. No chance for the defense.
And that's it. That's another one of their grade 9 superstars, Tyler Gunasekara there with the fantastic huck, and Alan Ng, I mean, making a great grab in his own right to secure that one for his team. So Misfit, instead of having a 4-3 lead, they now have a 5-2 lead, so a little bit of a swing there, which is good for them. And Stud, I know they're going to want that point back. They had a lot of great chances, but I think they can be happy knowing now that their zone works both against Mischief's offensive line and their defensive line.
It looks like there's a timeout that's been called. If I'm the stud coach right now, I would definitely be saying, hey guys, when you get close to the end zone, think about a dump swing. They had a lot of dump back to the open side, dump back to the upside. It's really hard when all the defense is on that side to try to cram it in. I mean, it's wide open on the break side if you can make a nice pass.
Absolutely. And it is a lot more difficult, but if you can really work to make those swings happen, you're absolutely right. There is a ton of free real estate over there. So Jamie Millage, coach for Stud, I'm sure he's calming down his team now. Guys, we've got to use the whole field. I know it's fun to play in the first 10 in the front or the right 10 yards of the end zone, but if you use the other 30, it will be so much easier for you guys.
And I'm sure he's saying also, I really like what we're seeing. Everything looks really good in terms of our defensive 2-3-2, our 3-3-1. Everything that we're playing on zone is really working. Let's keep that going. Keep working hard. We got this.
Absolutely, and they're right in this game. The game looks even. And if I did not know the score, I would say this was a tied game at the moment because both teams are battling. They look evenly matched. Mischief right now just coming up with a few more of those bigger plays. We saw the nice layout grab in the corner there. They got a few short field turnovers as well early on, which has given them this small lead. But by no means is this an insurmountable lead for Stud.
Definitely not. I really like that it's the youngsters that are taking charge of this game. It bodes well for the juniors programs in both these regions that, kids in grade 9 are able to, be on the starting lineups for these teams and playing with no fear.
Absolutely. Not only that, it's great to see that grade 9s are playing at this time. I know I didn't start until grade 10 myself, which was 2014 or 2013, I believe, is when I started playing Frisbee. So to be able to start in grade 9, grade 8, that means they've got so much time to grow, so much time to develop into fantastic players.
Yeah, it's amazing. I did not start playing until I was 19, and I will not tell you the year that was.
2013.
Because it was many years. There was no 2 in the front. Let's just say that. But at the time when I started playing, 19 was quite young. Everyone thought that I was like this amazing young player. Not so much on the amazing part, just that I was so young compared to everyone else. I was playing on a club team, and everybody else on the club team was like in their mid-ish 20s, and they had just started playing.
The Stud looking for a deep shot here. A lot of Mischief defenders, but the Stud player's got a great read on it.
What an incredible grab in traffic.
Zachary Smith doing a great job outpacing his Mischief defenders. And then a lovely IO shot there. Lovely IO backhand to Gavin Lee there for the goal.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't go wrong with that around backhand.
Absolutely. So Stud doing a great job there. A little 2-throw score. That's what they need to keep their confidence high, keep themselves in this game. Score is only 5-3. Now their defense has another chance here at the Mischief O-line.
Yeah, that offensive point just looked so easy. Right? 2 passes to score. That's really what you need.
Absolutely. And Mischief did a great job on defense. They had the numbers advantage there on that deep huck. A lot of players being very heads up, seeing that one coming. Unfortunately, the Stud player just made a fantastic read and fantastic grab.
Yeah, that was an incredible grab. He went up just at the right time. We saw a lot of that yesterday, actually, where a player would have a defender on his back, and with the wind that we had yesterday with those huge floaty hucks, you just sort of saw the offender going through in his head, like, do I jump now? What's my best strategy? Should I make the defender jump early and then go get it, or should I try to jump at my peak, and will I be able to catch it that time? It was pretty tough to read some of those huge hucks yesterday.
Absolutely. Now I think the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. We'll start to see perhaps some of more of those floaty hucks, but who knows? The players right now. So in the beginning of the game, we saw a lot of hucks just flying away, flying too high, flying out of bounds. Now we've seen a lot of huck completions on the money shots. So maybe now the players have dialed in their throws, and we're just going to see some lovely hucks from here on out. The disc in the hands of Austin Yen right now.
Looks like they're just playing person D.
Great shot here now. Gunasekara with the disc. He's going to shoot it down the field. Is it going to stay in?
Oh, 87. Caught it, but then dropped it in the end zone. That's unfortunate.
Native DeBrew is going to want that one back. That was just a fantastic down-the-line shot, staying in. Nao maybe just a little bit worried about that sideline, but it's a fantastic throw, and he was right there to catch it. I'm sure next time he'll have that one in his hands.
I have no doubt. You don't let two of those get away in one game.
So Stud's defensive line now with a chance. But Mischief's O-line doing a great job playing person-to-person defense. They're going to force the high stall huck. A lot of players under it. There'll be some jostling positioning. Oh, we see a lot of players falling down. And Stud's going to collect that one after a bit of a dog pile.
That was pretty amazing, actually. I don't know if you saw number 26 on Mischief. He he fell during that that dog pile and just covered his head. You know, he didn't call a foul or anything like that. He said, "All right, I'm down. I just want to make sure that no one steps on me."
It was a smart move by him to cover himself, because as soon as that happened, another Stud player I saw tripped over him. So glad to see that they're both okay, though. Nothing bad happened there. And Stud, they just punched it in their first break as well. So that's 5-4 for them now. A little bit of a hospital pass in the beginning, but sometimes you need those to fall your way if you wanna get back in this game.
Well, for sure he threw that because the stall count was getting pretty high. He had a few dump up the line cuts that were not open, and I'm sure that stall count was ticking away, and he just decided he had to put it.
Yeah, Mischief were doing a great job there on their person-to-person defense, locking down those handler moves, the cutter cuts, and forcing that high stall count throw. And I'm sure every time they'll take that throw, because sometimes they will come down with it, and unfortunately sometimes the other team will come down with it.
Yeah, on a high stall count, if you're just going to get it out of the way, then it's just a battle for who's going to be able to read the disc the best, or read the disc while jumping over 3 players and trying not to step on it.
So Stud now down just 1 point at this point, 4-5. So Mischief still in control here. Their O-line doing great stuff, a great offensive possession there, unfortunate drop, and then a great defensive possession locking down, and a fantastic grab on the Stud player's side. So I don't think they have anything to be upset about. They just keep their heads down, just keep playing Frisbee.
All right, let's see what they come out with. Yeah, looks like they're playing a 3-3-1.
This in the hands of Austin Yang. He's going to swing it to the far side.
Regular zone.
Oh, lovely shot there through the middle. That was a great grab there. That was number 10. Is Alan Ng making that grab.
That was a very late bid.
Ooh, this time Austin's blade is not going to make it quite there. He was looking for Tyler Gunasekara on the far side. Great look, great open position, but unfortunately just a little too much heat on that one.
All right, let's see what Stud can do going the other way.
Stud now with a great chance here to break and tie this game up. Great
Nice
shot on the
catch by
far side, yeah.
71, great catch.
That's Tyrus J now with the disc. Oh, but he's going to get
gets
hand blocked.
by
Austin
number
Yen.
21.
Great job getting it back by him.
Looks like they've gone to person D. Oh, so unfortunate when that happens, right through your hands.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen once or twice this game. It's going to happen 3-4 times even. You just got to work past it. You got to try and get the disc back for your teammate, for yourself. Give yourself some more chances.
Yeah, if you're number 14, you got to dig deep and try to get that D.
Here's a great chance here, and this one's just going to bounce off the hands of his receiver. Picked up once again by Austin Yen. His backhand a little bit high, a little floaty. Oh, but a great grab there by Ben Amar, who's going to shoot it far side. Oh, not quite in just yet there. They're on the doorstep. And Tyler Gunasekara is going to flip it into Austin Yen for the goal.
Austin Yen is all over the field at that point.
Yeah, he was really being a field commander there, calling his players to cut in for him, calling his players to cut out for him, let him take it here. And there he does a great job yelling for that disc and just catching the easy 1-yard flip for the goal.
Easy score. And the score is now 6-4.
So a nice, exciting back-and-forth game. You always love to see that here on the showcase field. Nice, close game. Could go any direction at any point. Mischief right now doing a great job being in command. Both teams looking clean out there. Unfortunate drops here and there, but you know that's going to happen in every single game.
It's going to happen every game, and especially with this wind that maybe is not consistent. You really have to think about, as a coach, you're always telling your players, worry about one thing at a time. Think about catching before you think about throwing. And you can see players when they're already thinking about what they're going to do next before they've caught. Those are the chances that sometimes they miss. Those are the shots that sometimes they get dropped.
Absolutely. So one thing I've noticed that was interesting is we've seen Stud transition into that 2-3-2 a lot more now. They've really been liking it. It's been making Mischief work. Mischief now just starting to figure out what it looks like and getting through it. Mischief, on the other hand, has been really content with their person-to-person defense, letting Stud run their vertical stack set and just try and outwork them and make them work as hard as possible instead of letting them just walk it around the field against the zone. A fantastic pull there from Ankiri Wang. Oh, and almost picked off on the centering pass. So now here comes their vertical stack look. He's going to have to boost it though. This one blading a little bit. Oh, but
what
a
great
read
catch
there
by number 74.
Ryan Pierce has just been so great in the air today. He's looking for a bit of a reset. He's going to have to shoot an IO shot. Few players underneath it. Oh, a great block there by Ankiri Wang.
Excellent block. Not the tallest kid out there, that's for sure.
No, but
able to get the D.
Absolutely fantastic read by him. Stud players in front of him, stud players behind him, but he got to that disc first and he was able to knock it to the ground.
All right, so here it looks like they're setting up a 3-3-1.
So a little bit of a different look. So not the usual 2-3-2 that we've been seeing, but it's always good switching up. Now maybe a little bit more of a 2-3-2 as we have the one wing player dropping back here. Red Amaro is going to find a lovely shot through the middle.
Gorgeous break throw across field. That's really how you got to get out of this zone.
Yeah, definitely. You got to find the holes and you got to take your chances. Flip now into the hands of Ankiri Wang on the close side. Back and forth playing a little give and go there with Wesley Choi.
And that's going to be a strip call.
Yeah, Will Rice stepping in there, seeing that one coming. And there's going to be a strip call. I'm sure the players will discuss it. We'll see if it will go to the observers. If not, perhaps it just goes back to Ankiri Wang. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you can see both players discussing who had possession. This is a question of was the rotation on the disc stopped or not before the disc was touched by the defensive player.
I think the other tough part is because they were both going to the same spot. I think there was also a little bit of a collision that took place. So perhaps maybe a foul call as well along in the mix. But Colin Kuntz, our observer, is going to walk in there, say, hey, let's just contest it, send it back.
Oh, what a visionary throw. Oh.
And here a perfect blade. Unfortunately, just getting canned a little bit. Jason Yu in there. Hopefully he's okay. I'm sure the stud player did not mean to do that. He was just trying to reach for that blade that was going over his head.
Yeah, I think he just got it. It looked like he got finger in the eye.
Yeah, a little shaken up, but it looks like he's good. So both players smiling a little bit. That's always nice to see. So a fantastic blade there, though, from Ankiri Wang, just over the cup and over the wall.
Yeah, that was a visionary throw. I mean, that's not a throw that you see happen too often in a zone look.
Especially in this one, it is not an easy shot either. Now Ankiri Wang bursting up line. Now they're entering the red zone. This shot as well. Oh,
and
lovely.
Number 34 reels it in.
Ankiri Wang doing a great job beating his check up line, and then Tristan Johnson seeing what Ankiri Wang did and doing the exact same thing for the goal, and a huge break there for Mischief. So they're going to take a 7-4 lead now, and a chance to perhaps take half on this next point.
And that is the challenge when you're running a zone all the way up the field. At what point, do you have to be really heads up for those up the line cuts from the handlers? Because if the cup is not set up perfectly, and your player who is not covering the mark but who is dropped back, if they don't drop back appropriately, that's just a wide open pass.
Absolutely. And Stud starting to struggle a little bit against the Mischief's person-to-person defense. So far, we've seen a lot of high stall count hucks coming at them as their players have been locked down, and they've had chances on them. But unfortunately, you're not always going to come down with every single one of those.
Yeah, I would go with it's not the most high percentage choice.
On the other hand, though, it is on the bright side. They are not giving up the short field turnover, so Mischief still has to work to get the length of the field. So there are good and bad in the situation. So good that the players are heads up, that they know that they have to play a little bit of field position there when they're in trouble, instead of giving the other team such an easy offensive possession.
I agree. All right, let's see if Stud is able to hold on this point.
Yeah, it'll be a big one here, as Mischief will be getting the disc as well coming out of half. So if they're unable to hold here, Mischief perhaps with a chance to take a 2-point or increase their lead by 2 points opposed to just 1. And Kerry Wang setting up the pull for Mischief. He's been doing a great job all day.
I feel like he has not been off the field yet.
Perhaps. I believe he played on Alpha last year on the former BC super team that was a combination of all the best players. So he's a very competent player, very strong player himself.
Oh, what an incredible catch.
Gavin Lee, great job saving that one for his team. Oh, unfortunately, his swing just a little bit too far for his receiver there. He was looking for Zach Smith there on the far side. Unfortunately, just a little too far.
Yeah, that was a great cut, too. He was wide open on that swing side. All right, they're going to have to play some tough defense right now if they want to...
Braden Almas shooting up line.
Oh, no. And once again, that happens if you are not 100% focused on catching, but you're worried a little bit maybe about getting your feet into the end zone on a one-pass score.
Absolutely, that was Samuel Lamb there, finding some open space there on the far sideline, but unfortunately that is just going to bounce off his hands. The Stud now with a bit of a gift here and a chance to take it the length of the field. So Gavin Lee in the center of the field with it. It's got a nice open cut there. That's Zach Smith, or Charlie Smith, apologies. Charlie Smith, he's going to have to boost it though. Another high stall count throw.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And once again, his teammate is saving the day for him on an incredible layout. Number 74, way to go get that disc.
And Ryan Pierce has really been catching almost everything out there today. And now he's going to send it over to Liam Powers. Back to Ryan Pierce. And Pierce is going to shoot it far side and into the goal for Gavin Lee.
It looked like Gavin forgot that you're supposed to wait for the observer to signal a goal before you spike the frisbee.
Yeah, it can be very, very difficult. I know a funny moment in 2014 when I was playing at my first CUCs. We were in the finals, and a teammate of mine went to hop it into the end zone. Him thinking he was in, spiked the disc immediately, and was ruled outside of the end zone and turnover. So that was some moment for the finals, or the very first CUC and to be in the finals. So very funny.
I have also seen that happen numerous times, and have the entire sideline screaming, "You're not in yet!" and the player still spikes the disc. It's possibly an argument for why you shouldn't spike the frisbee.
On the other hand, it's an interesting thought is the USAU versus WFDF rule sets. In the WFDF, you can actually spike the disc thinking you are in and get the disc back if you were wrong. So I've seen players catch it close to the sideline and run out of bounds and throw the disc behind them, but they were maybe 5 yards out of the end zone at that point, but they thought they towed the line on the sideline. It was very funny. And so they had to get it back, and then they had to play red zone offense. But very interesting rulings.
I feel like that would be a challenge to play a red zone offense after you already thought it was a goal.
So Mischief now with a chance to take half. The Stud coming out with their 3-3-1 look this time. So not the usual 2-3-2 we've been seeing, but they're always happy to switch it up, make Mischief think a little bit more about what they have to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think when they get towards the sideline, they tend to, it looks more like a 2-3-2 because they put their third cup member guarding the dump. Oh,
that was a fantastic hammer look there to this far side, this near sideline. Just now in the hands of Edric Sudahawk. Sudahawk's going to swing it over to Gunasekara. Far side now, all the way around.
They're moving the disc so nicely.
Mischief doing a great job here swinging it. Ooh, a little bit of a collision there.
Between number 1 and number 10. I think it was completely accidental. They just didn't see each other. Nice little handshake. All good.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's okay, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to see those kinds of collisions. Ankles can get rolled and whatnot. Both players, though, popping up this time. Fantastic. And Mischief now entering the red zone. Chance to take half.
One-handed grab for the score.
Dylan Cochran lasering that shot into Neo DeBrew. And you know, Neo DeBrew, some dropped that bit of an easy clap catch on the close sideline earlier, but this time he's just going to make the easy one-handed grab in front of his defender. to take half for Mischief. And so Mischief's going to go into half up 8-5 with a chance now coming out of half on offense to perhaps get a 2-point swing in their favor.
We are looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we're just going to take a few minute breaks here ourselves. Please grab yourselves a little breakfast, a little bagel, a little coffee, and join back with us in about 5 or 6 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The second half is just about to get underway. I hope you guys have your coffees and bagels with you because you do not want to leave your screens at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting second half. We're going to have to see Stud get a couple of breaks. to stay in the game.
Yeah, we saw them bring it within one at one point, so very, very close contest. Then Mischief went on a little bit of a roll themselves there on their last few points. Now coming out on offense, a chance to extend that lead to 4 points now, which is going to start to make things a little bit difficult for Stud. So they're going to want to try and come out firing and try and put in a break early here in the second half.
All right, let's see what their D-line is going to come down with.
So throughout the first half, we saw a lot of their zone looks, a lot of 3-3-1, a lot of 2-3-2, switching it up back and forth. You think they're going to keep with the zone idea, or maybe it's just time to go person to person? What do you think?
I would suspect that with the wind at their backs, they're going to play some kind of junk. Maybe only hold it for a couple of points. Let's see what
that's
they do.
something we haven't seen yet. Yeah, a little bit of a transition.
Great pull. And you're right, they are going person D.
Yeah, so different for Mischief, different for Stud. Mischief right now doing a good job flowing, and they're going to take a shot deep. This shot, looked a little bit short, but fantastic read there. Allen in catching it just on the doorstep. He's going to flip it high and into the goal there for his teammate. That is William Wang there, making the cut to the break side. Great job from Mischief.
That was an incredible, easy offense. It was just open side, open side, open side.
Yeah, it looked nice and smooth. You thought maybe that person-to-person defense would rattle them a little bit. Not at all. They're doing a great job here today. Their offense has really shown its stuff, shown it can be smooth, can swing the disc far back and forth through zones, and it can also work against man.
Yeah, that was an impressive show of athleticism as well, with those couple of crashes. The catch just outside the end zone. We weren't sure if we were going to make it all the way, and the end zone catch as well.
Absolutely, a little bit more floaty than maybe you and I would have hoped for, but the players out there doing a great job grabbing onto those. So Mischief is going to take their 9-5 lead right now. So in a very good position in this game, in control. And if you're the coach, you just got to be telling the players, hey guys, like, keep the focus up. We are up at the moment, and we will only make it hard on ourselves if we lose focus at this time.
Right. I mean, they still have a lot of games to go if they're aiming to be in the semis or finals of this tournament. So you really want to be as efficient as you can be, save your legs. Since they do seem to be playing a lot of the same players over and over again.
Absolutely. They will only have 2 games today, I believe. I believe all teams will only have 2 games. So they have their crossover, which is happening right now here on the live stream. And then whichever team succeeds will have their quarterfinals later this afternoon. So they have to make sure they keep their bodies in check. Coach is running over here towards us, saying they need a shout out. So that's Kyle Lamb, everybody. Fantastic player. I played with him myself. He is a super nice guy. If you're in the BC area, make sure you say hi to him. Let's say Brett says hi as well.
Is he going to be playing later in the week?
He will not be playing later in the week. He is actually on a bit of a Frisbee hiatus. He plays throughout the year with the University of British Columbia, going to the college series down there. And so in the summers, he likes to relax a little bit, take it easy, but he also likes to develop fantastic juniors players. So that is what he's up to right now.
It's amazing that coaches are willing to, not necessarily play club in order to help develop the next generation of superstars. Oh, that was a nice cut.
So Ryan Pierce here, a little bit of a bouncy IO shot, but it's on the money. And so Liam Power now with the disc. He's going to flip it back now. Ooh, little bump there, but Will Rice is okay with that. Oh, completely open coming down the open side. That's Zachary Smith now. Back to Rice. Rice now has been the center handler for Stud. He's going to find our young friend there. That's Brody J with the disc.
Nice
Great
pass.
shot there. Ryan Pierce now just a couple yards outside of the end zone.
This is when the pressure is on.
He's going to go hammer. He's looking for a few options. Brody J there. Great read there, beating everybody to the disc. Easy clap catch for the goal.
Easy score. And that brings our score to 9-6. And if I were the coach of Stud at this current moment in time, I'd be like, all right, guys, we're coming down zone.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen them throw multiple different looks. Maybe they even have a third zone.
Hey,
could
you
you
never
imagine?
know. It is totally possible. Yeah, I'd actually like to see them play zone with a faster transition to person D. Once you get to about half field, maybe 2/3, clamp down, play some tight defense.
Absolutely. So we will see what Jamie Milich has cooked up for his defensive line. And on the other end, I'm sure Kyle is saying, guys, be ready for anything.
Well, if he's as good of a coach as you say, I'm sure that's what he's saying.
We're looking at just over 30 minutes left in this game, roughly 33 minutes, so plenty of time here before the hard cap. Both teams, I don't think either team is in a rush or really too worried about the time at this moment. There's so much game left to play. So I think they're just focused on point to point, try and win every single point, and if you win every single point, you will win the game. That's just how it works.
Yeah, keep it simple. Once you're up, you really just got to focus on making sure that you're not letting the score affect you. You're not paying attention to the score. You're just concentrating on doing your job.
And when you're down, you're not worried about the score either. You're not worried, okay, I'm down 4. Okay, I'm down 3. Okay, I'm down 2.
Looks like we have an offside call here on the pull.
So first offside of the game, which is nice. We've only seen one so far. Good. Good to see from the players.
In a game that we did yesterday, there was one offside by each of the teams, and then a second. So when that happens, the receiving team gets the disc at half field. It's a huge advantage.
Yep, not only that, it's in the center of the field, so you couldn't really ask for a much better position.
And that pulls nice and high, but it looks like it's going to be landing out.
Yeah, just a little too much IO on that one, or OI. Aug14 for Mischief looking to pick it up and center it for his team. Mischief setting up in a horizontal stack, very traditional straight line horizontal stack. Yesterday, I remember seeing Ignite's square stack, which I thought was very, very interesting. Hopefully we can see Ignite again sometime in the day.
That was a great, what a great put.
Oh, interesting. A little bit of a snake in the grass play, leaving a lot of the players uncovered.
Oh, goodness gracious. He just pulls that down as if there were no defenders anywhere near him.
As far as surprise defenses go, that one was absolutely fantastic. Hiding a player on the sideline, Mischief thinking they're wide open. Aug14 is just going to boost it. Luckily, he had 3 of his players there. And Neo, luckily being just a fantastic player. The young is grade 9. And we see why he's putting up so many points here. He's got great reads. He knows where this is going. And he's got solid hands to hold on to that one.
I have to say, in all my years of Ultimate, I don't think I've ever seen a defense like that.
I think if it was a one-on-one matchup, I think it would have been absolutely perfect. But Mischief maybe sniffing that one out and sending 3 players instead kind of gave them the numbers advantage there when it really came down to it. But I love the thinking from Jamie Millage there. Hey, switch it up completely, surprise them, and now maybe the next time they go out, they're going to be second guessing that deep shot.
Or maybe they're just going to send all their players long.
6-person deep strike. It can never go wrong. That's 6 different people that could catch the frisbee.
Sure.
And all of them would be gold.
I wouldn't go with never could go wrong, but you're putting the odds in your favor, maybe.
There you go. That's for sure. It depends how many stud sends, I believe. If it was 6-on-1, you would like to think that having 6 players there gives you a pretty good shot at catching that frisbee.
That's the truth. All right, so I'm going to wager a bet that Mischief is going to come down in a person D, as we have not yet seen anything else from them.
You know what I think would be absolutely fantastic if they do the same defensive set right now.
Oh.
It looks like there was an offside call, actually, as Mischief is returning to their side of the field.
So that's 1 offside per team now. And it looks like they will re-pull. So if any team is called offsides for the rest of this game, the receiving team will get the disc at the midline.
Yeah, so they'll absolutely have to be careful. It's always tough playing with observers. Maybe it's not one of the first few times that these players have really seen observers. You don't see them too often at local tournaments. So, but big games like this at the national level, you're absolutely going to have them, and there's such a big help. But you also have to be very careful on your own right.
Yes, in general, when you see a second pull after an offside, it is much less far.
But that one, fantastic.
Right to the middle of the end zone. Oh, no.
Oh, unfortunate there.
Execution error right there, throwing to an open player in the middle of the field and just wasn't able to keep it up.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many of those at this point in the game. Early on, there was a lot of throws that popped. This one, the first one we really see that dropped. Nice little triple cut there. That's Justin Luna. He's about 5 yards out of the end zone now. He's looking for Ankiri Wang. Ankiri Wang is going to do a great job going up blind, but a nice poach from Stud. He's going to force the hammer, and this one is not going to get completed, so great job there.
Great job on the defense. That hammer just popped right out of the hands of, I believe it is number 9.
Yeah, difficult hammer there, right at the back of the end zone. We don't really know how much space he had left. Samuel Lamb maybe thinking he had a little bit less than he did. Goes up for it early, gets a huge hand on it, but unfortunately wasn't able to reel it in. Charlie Smith now on the far side, and he's just going to boost it, looking for Gavin Lee. Gavin Lee's got a nice read on it. Oh, fantastic. Great grab. And a little easy flip.
To the end zone.
And that's Zachary Smith with the goal. So great job there from Stud. A little bit of a miscue early on, but they're able to lock it down, not lose any focus, get it back, and then punch in an easy 3-throw hold there of their own. So bringing the score to 10-7. So still down, but keeping themselves in it with points like those.
I think it's really hard to maybe understand on the live stream or to really be able to see just how tough that catch was right outside the end zone. I mean, he was coming over his shoulder. He had to turn around and look. At the same time, recognize there was a defender right next to him and be able to catch it almost blind. Very impressive.
Okay, my turn to wage a little bit of a wager here. Stud will do something incredibly cool, I hope.
I don't know if they're going to be able to beat their last defense.
That one was pretty cool, but maybe, just maybe, a double snake in the grass play.
Could it really be considered double snake in the grass? I mean, I feel like at some point Mischief is going to recognize that they're missing some defenders with the cutters upfield.
But just imagine the situation. There's a horizontal stack. The defenders on 1 and 4 start by coming down right next to their guy, and then as soon as their guy looks away, they just run out the sidelines and then just sneak back deep.
Sure.
I'm actually going to implement that one in the coming days at Adult CUC, so everybody stay tuned.
And you're playing for which team? We all want to go watch this.
I'm going to play for Grand Chunk out of Toronto.
All right. We will be ready for that.
Yeah, so everybody keep your eyes peeled for the double snake in the grass play. You heard it here first. Right now, Mischief facing that stud zone, doing a great job swinging the disc over to this near sideline. Oh, nice shot into the middle.
Oh, no.
Oh, but his flip's just a little high.
Oh, great defensive play by number 24. Way to bring that down.
Yeah, D-Dub, fantastic.
All right, wide open swing pass to number 71.
Yeah, that was Logan Dufour with the block, breaking that one up. Now Stud with a chance to work with this break. Hands in the disc in the hands of Jacob Dawson. He's going to flip it over to Logan Dufour.
And
Logan's
he
going
just
to jack
launches a huge flick.
Is this
Can
one going
number
to
71
stay in?
pull it in? Oh.
Oh, good pressure there. Maybe just right at the back of the end zone. No call, so he got a big hand on it, but unfortunately it wasn't able to reel it in. Good pressure there from Neo DeBrew.
Yeah, that was great defensive pressure. You know, he was right there with him, running with him. I mean, it hit number 71 in the hands, but I think he just wasn't able to pull it in, maybe because the defense was there and he was thinking about that.
Not only that, it looked like he was right at the back of the end zone there. I thought that throw wasn't even staying in, but it looked like it was perfect from Dufour. And
all right, let's see if their zone can cause another turnover.
Looking like a 3-3-1 zone.
Oh, and they do. Number 17 with a huge block.
Fantastic. Austin Hodgson not letting that over the top out of his cup. He's just going to get the short field turn for his team and a chance to break and bring this game within 2.
Oh, the floaty dump. Oh, and there's a foul call.
We have a foul call here. Players going to have to discuss it. It looked like it was close. Very floaty disc. Both players getting right up for it. Both touching it at the same time roughly. Is a matter of did the stud player manage to grab the disc or did he just touch the disc? It looks like the observers will discuss it, and it looks like it's immediately going to them.
Yep, the observers are going to discuss and make sure that they are in agreement in whatever call they decide. I believe they are saying that it is a contested foul.
It'll be an uncontested foul, so the disc will stay in the hands of Stud. Great field position now, middle of the field, and a chance to punch in a break. And immediately he's going to go far side. That was Keaton Vasudeva there with a fantastic around backhand shot for the goal. So Stud now, a little bit of fire, bringing it in within 2 at 10-8.
Yeah, we're looking great, 10-8. So who knows what's going to happen in the next point. If they're able to get another turn, bring it within 1, So we're going to have a very exciting finish to the game on our hands with about 20 minutes left.
Absolutely, Stud is stealing the momentum just at the right time. Yeah, if they can put in another big break here, this could be a little bit of trouble for Mischief.
To say that those two defensive plays in the zone were very effective and efficient for Stud.
Yeah, we saw Mischief trying to move it a little bit too fast on that first one and popping up that flip pass. And the second one getting a little bit trapped, really facing the pressure of that zone, trying to go over the top, but unfortunately getting denied on that one too. So great job by Stud working their zone defense, and I imagine they're going to keep bringing it out now and keep trying to pressure Mischief into tough shots like those.
And that's the best you can ask for a zone, right? You want the other team to either be taking very challenging passes, or you want them to make a ton of passes, hoping that eventually they're going to make a mistake.
So with a nice pull here. Mischief taking their time to jog it down, just now in the hands of Austin Yen, facing that 3-3-1 zone once again. Doing a great job faking. He's got the Stud players diving around.
Oh, I love that high release forehand fake. That was awesome.
We've been seeing a lot of those. I'm hoping one time we see that throw come
Go
out.
Yeah. Hey, if you fake it, you got to be able to throw it, right?
That's true.
Oh, right through the hands of Zero.
Yeah, that was a fantastic hammer shot, but unfortunately the receiver closed his hands at just the wrong moment there. So Stud, another great opportunity here. They're at half field. We've got a chance to bring this game within one.
That's what I love to see. A nice break pass off the front of the stack.
Yeah, lovely reset pass there. Now Will Rice with the disc.
Still count's getting high. And our friend number 8.
Yeah, Brody J there doing a great job being the release valve.
Oh, goodness. And Stud has a similar drop that, you know, I'm sure he wants that one back.
Absolutely. Liam Powers hasn't dropped in much today. He's been doing a great job securing it. That one's unfortunately going to bounce off his hands. Maybe the wind playing with it a little bit, as those short passes that are kind of slow, they tend to bobble a little bit.
I like how Stud's Cup challenges that dump pass. They don't let it go horizontally. They rarely force you to throw backfield, lose yards.
Mischief, though, doing a great job finding those holes in the middle of the zone right now.
Oh, what a nice pass.
Great shot there, just now in the hands of
right through the cup to number 21 and back again.
A little give and go there on the far side, keeping it close, but doing a great job keeping possession now. And here Stud having to melt now.
That's good. They melted at a nice point on the field. They still far enough out to be able to challenge on
Benamara's shot just a little bit too far for his receiver there. So great job by Mischief. Unfortunate there. Stud, though, great melt, and now with a chance on offense once again.
Wide open receiver, no check. Lots of time to catch it.
That's Ryan Pierce with the disc now on the close sideline. He's going to flip it up to Charlie Smith. Who's going to go with the scuba there? Nice shot over to Ryan Pierce. Ooh, a little bit behind, but Will Rice does a great job adjusting to make that grab. Oh, unfortunately,
nice bid.
His throw was just a little bit too far.
That was an excellent bid by number 2, trying to save that disc.
Just
and
now in the hands of
shot,
Austin Yen.
That's flying wide.
Unfortunately, his shot just a little bit wide. Maybe a little bit late to take that shot. His receivers are kind of already at the end zone line. Maybe you got to holster that one next time. He didn't look too happy about the throw either, so I'm sure he's thinking the same thing.
As a coach, I spend a lot of time talking to my players about how throwing to a receiver who's in the same third of the field as you, already pretty deep, is the toughest possible option when you're looking deep.
Absolutely. So Stud again with a chance. They've got a lot of their offensive players out here. Oh, great poach there, but good grab by Will Rice.
Yeah, I like how he turned into that poach so that he wasn't going to be surprised by getting something in the shoulder or the jaw, perhaps.
Yeah, both players doing a good job trying to avoid as much contact as they can as they arrive at the same point. So now Stud's on the goal line, couple yards out with a chance to break and bring this game to 1.
And great grab by number 2, maintain possession.
That's Robbie Rodway there with the disc now in the center of the field for Stud. He's going to swing it back open side. Ryan Pierce. And Ryan Pierce is going to shoot it break side. Oh, but he's got no cutter there, unfortunately.
That was an excellent idea. He potentially would have had, 2 cutters going there, and I think both cutters opted to not take that chance, so he just had a big turnover. But I believe that Mischief threw it out of bounds pretty high up on the field, so Stud is going to get it back. An excellent opportunity to score yet again.
Yeah, they were going for a bit of a fast break, not wanting the Stud zone to set up, and unfortunately that shot didn't come back in. So now Stud's just 2 yards out of the end zone and a chance to break and bring this game to 1.
They're basically in the same position, just on the other side of the field.
It looks like we had a timeout call there from Stud on that that far sideline. Just a chance to calm down, catch their breath, so they can make some strong cuts here and put this goal in.
What do you feel like is the best move in this place, in this situation here on defense? Do you like to go with a strict person D, or would you prefer maybe either, doing some sort of a push mark and setting up a poach right in front in the lane?
I'm a big fan of the poach. Personally, I know there's a lot of positions that are very difficult on the field to hit. So if they do manage to hit those, kudos to them. They earned that goal. But forcing them to have to hit those is what's going to, I think, give you a lot more of those turnovers. So I like the person-to-person with a poach, like you said, push mark into the sideline, and a poach in that open lane, not letting anything easy at all.
Yeah, and you have to take the wind into account, too. They are throwing into the wind in that far corner. So any throw that they make is going to be a little tougher than on a day, for example, when there is no wind. Let's see what they decide to do.
Another favorite thing is to see what kind of offensive play do they come up with. A lot of ISOs where they just have one person outrun their player, but I've seen a lot of tricky plays as well where players set up along the back of the end zone line, players set up all the way across the field on the far side of the end zone line. So it would be interesting to see what kind of offense as well we get to see here as they're right on the goal line.
If I'm in this situation right now, I'm running Brody J into that open side space as an ISO.
Oh, great job by Gavin Lee there to
and
catch
once again
that
with
goal.
the super early spike. Catch spike.
He knew he was in the end zone. So they're going to take that goal and they're going to bring this game back within 1 at 10-9.
Yeah, now it's very exciting. There's about 15 minutes left, so they have a ton of time to take the lead in this game if they're able to get another break.
Absolutely, this game is going to go right down to the wire, perhaps hitting the time cap, so we'll see maybe a 13-score end or a 14-score end. But Mischief still in control. They still have the chance to give themselves a 2-point buffer, keep themselves up in this game and in a really good position to take it. But Stud right now, they have all the momentum. They're firing, and they're going to want to pile on more and more breaks here, try and take out Mischief.
Yeah, I think it does seem to be that they've really found their groove. Their defense is working really well, and they're able to complete their red zone scoring chances. Let's hope that Stud remembers they cannot be offside. They don't want to give up field position.
Absolutely, an offside for especially offensive lines. It's been great, and we haven't seen any offensive lines go offside. Because if you go offside as an offensive line, you have to start the disc on your own end zone line, and that is never fun.
Never fun. That's a big pull. Is it going to come back in? Nope. As it hits the tent on the other side, the answer is no.
Unfortunately. It looked pretty good from this angle, but I'm sure the players down the field saw that that one was not coming back.
So Mischief will be taking the disc where the disc went out, but in the middle of the field. Looks like
just about the half field mark. And Stud back into their zone look. They're 3-3-1. Ooh, Mischief with a nice long shot there across the field. A little dangerous in this wind, but he makes it look perfect. And now a nice shot through the middle there to the far side. Ooh, and that was a tricky IO shot there down the same sideline. So that was Sammy Benamara catching the goal. And Dylan Cochran showing off a little bit of tricky throwing there. First through the middle of the cup, catches the flip, and then he's going to IO it out the same sideline he's on and back into the corner for his teammate there. So great job overall though by Mischief. I mean
that was a great point. It moved really quickly. All started with that huge open side pass to the dump that was all the way across the field, and that's really tough for the cup to be able to chase and get back on that.
Absolutely. That's the kind of point you want to see when the other team has momentum, showing that you have got this in the bag, full confidence, happy to throw all kinds of perhaps higher difficulty shots with precision. I mean, that was a great response there from Mischief, and they're going to go up 11-9 at the moment, so keeping their comfortable lead, but Stud still feeling like they've got this. They've got a chance here. They can bring this one back, and so they're going to start off with a fantastic 0 point, hopefully, and keep this game within one all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you're talking about, being able to throw with precision. I would even add confidence. There was so much confidence in that throwing by Mischief in that point. There was no concern or hesitation that, we need to be really careful with this. We don't want to turn it over. It was just, we got this. Let's score.
Absolutely, and confidence is a huge part when you're playing Frisbee. You may underestimate yourself sometimes if you're not feeling as confident, and it may limit your options, or it may limit how much you can fire up your team by making a huge play or a crazy throw. And this pull is massive and not coming back, unfortunately.
No, it looks like it went right out the back. That was close though. It almost hit the back cone. So number 74 is going to jog that disc up to the brick mark.
Yeah, that'll be Ryan Pierce. We saw him downfield a lot, making some crazy catches. At this point, he's going to anchor the O-line from a handler position, or maybe he's going to dish and go and just try and beat his man deep.
Oh, he's just going to huck it along to number 34.
Oh, but a great block there
D.
from Ankiri Wang. He got juked a little bit on the initial cut, but great read by him, beating his man to the spot and just swatting that disc down to the ground.
I think he had a little bit of help there with the wind. It hung maybe perhaps a touch longer than the thrower and the receiver were expecting.
And now Ankiri Wang's going to try and anchor this offense with Braden Almas. Just on the far side, we see the Stud zone. This time looking more of a 2-3-2 as it swings to the close side. Ooh, little flip, almost. Ankiri Wang shot down the sideline, looks beautiful, but unfortunately it's going to bounce off the hands.
Of number 5.
Yeah.
That's tough. We've seen that a few times in this game where, it hits you in the hands.
And it just goes away. Yep.
Does not stick.
It happens a lot in the wind especially, but the players, I'm sure, going to try and get it back here. Ooh, a huge layout block, but Gavin Lee, great focus, securing that one. Now a nice round backhand to Brody J. Brody J's IO shot, Zachary Smith making a huge grab of his own there.
Oh,
and then he's going to boost it. But is it going to stay in? It's looking, unfortunately not. Maybe a little conservation of greatness on that one. Made a fantastic grab, had his opportunity, but unfortunately just a little too far out of bounds for Charlie Smith.
Hopefully he'll be able to get it back here on D.
And right away, the 2-3-2 zone look, it looks like. He's going to opt for the huge blade around. Great shot. A second blade now to Sammy down the sideline. This time he's going to secure it. He's going to shoot it into the end zone, but looks just a little bit too far.
Looks like he's having a little bit of a tough point. Just needs to regroup and think, all right, I'm going to play some defense and just maybe take a second on offense. Catch and then throw.
Absolutely. He had a bit of a small drop there. This time he secures it perfectly. This time, though, a little bit of a throwaway. Disc in the hands now of Gavin Lee. Close sideline. Looking for Pierce in the backfield. Trying to run a little 1-2. Zach Smith, though, finding some open space on the break side. Great shot now to Will Rice on the close sideline. Rice shooting it upline to Gavin Lee. Gavin Lee showing off his speed there, and he's going to put it into the corner.
Oh, just a little bit too far for number 23. Looked like maybe he Just had a little misstep maybe because from our angle here it looked like it was catchable.
It did look catchable, maybe a little bit of on the tougher end of catches. Gavin Lee's shot there was starting to die as it reached the back corner of the end zone. But unfortunate there for Stud. They've been playing so solid this game. Both teams right now at this point in the game have started to just wobble just a little bit. Maybe perhaps fatigue setting in. It's been a long game. Still a lot on the line here, so you don't want to give up anything.
Yep, and with only 8 minutes left, you really need to be focusing on executing everything that you can to the best of your abilities.
Mischief right now doing a great job amongst the handlers. Unfortunately.
Oh, almost. That was almost a Callahan right there.
Yeah, that was very close. Great heads-up play. That was Liam Powers there with the read. Trying to put it through the middle, but Liam Powers was there to make that grab on the goal line, and he's just going to quickly flip it into his teammate. So Stud keeping it close. 1 point game, 11-10 still for Mischief here.
Yeah, I would say that, you know, in that situation for Mischief, well, as you're in your own end zone, you know, and you have the wind going with you, and that zone is just, you know, pushing you back and pushing you back, I think at some point you need to think about what about just punting it and then forcing the other team to work it all the way back up.
Absolutely. We saw them do it earlier. They had the unfortunate drop in the end zone on one, the unfortunate shot out the back on the second one. So they've shown they can go over the top in this zone and be precise. And unfortunately that one, they got caught up being maybe a little bit lazy there, a little careless, trying to go through the middle.
Yeah, and I would agree maybe fatigue is setting a bit. He might just not have seen at all that there was a defender there. Sometimes that happens when you're on offense and you're in the zone of I'm just, you know, dumping and swinging it, or I'm looking for my open side player, and you see an open side player but you just don't see the poach.
The Mischief now still up 1, 11-10. Their O-line back out on the field, a chance to give them that 2-point cushion. And as the time is starting to count down, they're going to want to be very careful. They're going to want to maintain that 2-point cushion. And there you go. Actually, that is the horn. So this point is a bit of a do-or-die point for Stud. And if Mischief can put this one in, they will take this game.
There's nothing like the spinorama pull. Did you see that? That was awesome.
And to the flick side. So very, very unconventional there. Fortunately, it's going to go out of bounds. Mischief now bringing it in on the brick mark. And like we said, this is the final point of the game, so to say. If Stud is able to put this one in, we will have a double game point universe situation. If Mischief is able to put this point in, they will seal themselves a spot in the quarterfinals and a top 8 finish. Dylan's going to flip this up towards Wang on the close sideline. William Wang back to Dylan Cochran. Then Cochran's going to go backfield. Braden Almas. Little 1-2. Nice find there on the close sideline. Alan Ng. He was called out of bounds by the observer, though. And so Stud now with a chance to bring this game to universe.
Doesn't get more exciting than this. They just need to maintain possession, walk that disc into the end zone.
Bringing in for Stud, that'll be Liam Powers. Right away, he's got a shot up line. Oh, this one's going to bounce off the hands of Ryan Pierce, but a great corral, and he's going to shoot a hammer side. Oh, and
Stud
a great
brings it
grab.
down in the end zone. I was not really sure that that was going to be the excellent choice of throw in that situation, but the receiver is able to pull it in.
Absolutely. You don't. I didn't know if that one was going to stay in either, but it's on the money, and a great read by the Stud receiver there to make that two-handed grab, and now we have a universe double game point situation. I hope everybody is sitting at their monitors right now because this is about to be very exciting. The winner will take a spot in the quarterfinals, a top 8 finish, and the loser, unfortunately, after battling through such a tough game, they'll have to fight through the consolation bracket as well. So just keep their reps up, get as much experience as they can, and perhaps come back next year and try and beat whoever is the winner.
Looks like there's possibly a timeout that has been called.
And very, very likely. We've seen a lot of the same players out there as these are now elimination games essentially. So coaches want to give their top players a bit of a rest here, some time to grab some water, recuperate, calm down a little bit after making it to this point, because the worst thing you could have is rushing a throw at this critical moment in the game and costing you a chance in the top 8.
And I think this is once again where the word confidence comes back in. You know, if you are one of the 7 players called on the line, on the offensive line or on the defensive line at this point in time, you just have to believe that everything you are going to do is going to work.
Absolutely, you gotta trust yourself. You gotta trust your teammates, and no matter which way it does go, you made it this far, right? And that is an accomplishment on its own. You fought back. You battled multiple teams yesterday. You battled multiple teams in your region just to get here. And no matter what the result is, you should be happy that you were here at Nationals. You were able to play in such a huge game with so much on the line, because you may not get too many of these in your playing career.
And the timeout is over, as we can hear the observer letting everybody know. So, if you're Mischief, what are you playing on D?
On defense, I believe Mischief is coming out on offense, but perhaps they do turn it over.
You're correct. Totally right.
If they were to play some D, you have to play man defense, I believe, at this point. You could mix in a little bit of a poaching look here with the wind on your side, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to want it more to win this universe point. And so Stud, though, I imagine they're gonna come out with their zone for a little bit, perhaps transition. And Mischief, they're gonna try and play as smooth as offense as they've been playing all game, and just walk it in for the hold and appearance in the top 8. And here we go. We have the pull here. Universe point, double game point. Mischief in the dark on offense. Stud in the white coming out on defense. And right away we see the 2-3-2 zone. Ankiri Wang flipping it back and forth there with Braden Almas.
Yeah, Mischief is working it nicely. They're being patient.
Doing a good job right now, swinging it far side. Ooh,
great grab.
Fantastic grab from Ankiri Wang there. Not really getting many swings off, but there, a nice shot through the middle.
Looking to keep moving it. The zone is working well. It's forcing Mischief to keep it on that sideline.
Ooh, this hammer shot. Ooh, a little tight, but great catch there by Almas. And Almas is going to shoot it up to Alan Ng now. Back to Sammy.
Swing to the other
swing
side.
over to Almas.
Looks like they've gone to person defense.
Ooh, a little lefty there. And now we have the shot we've been looking for. Alan Ng, Logan Dufour, and Alan Ng is going to make a fantastic grab, securing Mischief a finish in the top 8. I mean, that was the kind of offense we wanted to see from Mischief, taking their time, working it around. And unfortunately for Stud, they fought back tooth and nail. They were down multiple times. They brought it all the way back. They brought it right to Universe, right to the brink, a chance to finish in the top 8. And unfortunately, they didn't quite make it there in the end. But they should be nothing but proud about of themselves for how they played throughout this game and throughout this tournament so far.
Yeah, I think they did an incredible job. It's really tough to lose on a Universe, especially when you're the underdog and you basically are fighting for, your one chance to make it into the top 8. But they really do need to be proud of themselves. They worked so hard in this game. They were down by a bunch for a while, and they were able to come back, take it to Universe. That was great for the fans. Absolutely.
What more could you ask for? So congrats to both teams here. Mischief for making it into the top 8. Stud for putting up just an incredible show in this game and throughout this tournament. Just their second nationals. Hopefully a lot of them will be back next year. Third time appearance and starting to make runs now into the top 8. Fans at home, thank you so much for joining us as well. Right after, I believe, we have the women's crossover game. Same things on the line. Winner gets into quarterfinals. The loser will have to play in the consolation round and perhaps exact some revenge next year. So join us shortly. I believe it begins at around 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
So join us in a little bit. Grab some more food, grab some more chips, grab some popcorn, because this is an exciting game, and hopefully the next one will be just as exciting. Thank you. It's been Brett and Tan here with
Allison Fisher.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, and hope to